Hello everyone, I am Gagan. Today I will teach tenses, in particular the 4 types of present tense using a very easy method. And if you want to learn about the past and future tenses also in the same way, do watch my next videos. Okay, now let's get started. First of all, we'll see what is tense. Now tense is a verb-based method used to indicate the time. Now it is a method in which by looking at the verb, now verb is an action word. By looking at the verb, when we get to know at what point of time did the action take place, whether it happened in the past or it is taking place at present or will it happen in the future. So this method of knowing the time of action is called tense. And sometimes the continuation or completeness of an action or state in relation to the time of speaking. So not only do we get to know the time when the action will take place or has taken place, but we also get to know whether the action is continuing at the moment or it has completed. Now the tenses are of mainly 3 types. First is the present tense. Present tense means when in the sentence we get to know that the action is taking place at present. Second is the past tense. Past tense means when the action has taken place at some point of time in the past. The third is the future tense. Future tense means the time that is yet to come. So when an action in a sentence is about to happen or is yet to take place, then we say that it is in future tense. Now these present, past and future further has 4 types. Now present tense has, the first type of present tense is simple present tense. Now simple is also called indefinite present tense. Similarly, we have simple past tense and we have simple future tense. Now the second type of tense is continuous. Present continuous tense, past continuous tense and future continuous tense. The third type of tense is perfect tense. Present perfect tense, past perfect tense and future perfect tense. And the fourth type is present perfect continuous tense. Present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous and future perfect continuous tense. Now let's discuss the present tense, the 4 types of present tenses in detail. Okay, now we'll do the first type of present tense, which is the simple present tense, or it is also known as indefinite present tense. Now in these type of sentences, the verb is used to denote a habitual action. Now habitual action means something that happens in routine on a regular basis. For example, if someone asks me what is my profession, I would say I teach English. Now it is something that I may not be doing at the moment, but I do it regularly on a daily basis. So habitual action, when a verb in a sentence represents something that happens regularly or on a daily basis or in routine, then it is known as simple present tense. Also, simple present tense helps us to speak about general truths. For example, the sun rises in the east. Now these type of things, these truths will always remain the same. They are not going to change. The sun rose in the east in the past. It does so in the present and it will continue to do so in future as well. So these type of sentences are also written in simple present tense. Now when a future event that is part of a fixed timetable, then also we use simple present tense. For example, the match starts at 9 o'clock. Now in simple present tense, we use the first form of the verb, the simple form of verb, which is, for example, eat, play, sleep. And also the rule that applies to the simple present tense is that when the subject in the sentence is singular, now subject means the thing, person or whatever is being talked about in sentence. Now if it is singular, then we use the singular form of verb. Now how do we make the verb singular? By adding s, es or IES to the verb. And if the subject in the verb is plural, then we use the plural form of the verb. And by plural form of verb, we mean we don't have to add any S, ES or IES to the verb. Now let's look at the examples. He loves to play. Now the subject in this sentence is he, and he is singular. So the verb that we have used, love, we have added S to it to make it singular verb. He loves to play. Now look at the second example. Ram teaches here. Now in this sentence, Ram is the subject, which is singular, and we have added ES to the verb teach to make it singular verb. Now in the third sentence, Priya studies in school. Now Priya again is a singular subject, so we add IES to the verb study to make it singular verb. Now here it would be interesting to know, because I'm sure there will be many students who will be wondering, how do we know when to add S or ES or IES to a verb to make it a singular verb? Now usually we add an S to verb and it becomes singular verb. But sometimes when the words end with CH or X, we add ES to it to make it singular verb. And at other times when the verb end with Y and there is a consonant before Y, for example in study, then we add IES to the word and it becomes a singular verb. Now, like in English, there are always exceptions, so I'm sure with practice you'll be able to work around it. Okay, now let's look at the examples when the subject is plural. We love to play. Now here the subject is we, which is plural. So we have used the plural form of verb, that means the first form of verb without adding S, ES or IES to it. Now the second sentence, they teach here. Again the subject they is plural, so we have used the plural form of verb teach. And in the third sentence, children study in school. Children again is a plural subject, that is why the verb study is plural. And always remember one thing, whenever I tell you about rules, there will always be exception in the case of I and you. Now these two pronouns will never follow the rules. For example, I love to play. Now here the subject I is singular, but it has taken plural verb. We haven't added S to the verb love. Similarly, in the second sentence, you teach here. Subject is you, which is singular, but we have used plural verb teach. In the third sentence, all of you study in school. Now here you is plural. Whether the pronoun I and you, it is plural or singular in sentence, however, we will always use plural form of verb with I and you. Now come to the next type of present tense, which is present continuous tense. Now this tense indicates an action that is taking place at the moment of speaking. Now when we are speaking, the action is happening at the moment. So that type of sentence is called present continuous tense. For example, I am teaching. The action is happening at the moment. You are studying. Shikha is writing. They are playing cricket. So in all of these sentences, we can see that the action is continuing at the moment. So it is known as the present continuous tense. Now in present continuous tense, we use the helping verbs is, are or am before the verb. And with the verb, we add ing. So this is the rule. And in this, whenever the subject is singular, we use is. When the subject is plural, that means more than one thing is being talked about, we use are with it. And because it is a continuous tense, so we add ing to the verb. For example, in the first sentence, the baby is crying. Now the baby is singular, so that is why we have used is with it. And we have added ing to the verb cry. So it becomes crying. Now it is barking. The subject it here again is singular. That is why we have used is. Sumit is eating cake. Now again the subject Sumit is singular, so we have used is with it. Now in the sentences here, the babies are crying. The babies here is plural, so we have used are. They are barking. Again, they is a plural subject, that is why we have used are. Sumit and Sahil are eating cake. Now Sumit and Sahil, it has become two subjects here, so that is why we have used are. We are going. Again, it's a plural subject, that is why we have used are with it. Now, like I told you before also, there will always be exception in the case of I and you. I will always take am in the present continuous tense, and you will always take are with it, whether it is singular or plural. For example, I am crying. You are crying. Now, you is singular, but we have used are with it. All of you are eating cake. Now in the third sentence, you is plural. So whether you is plural or a singular subject in the sentence, we will always use are with it. Now we'll do the third type of present tense, the present perfect tense. Now in this tense, the action, the verb indicates an action that has been completed sometime before the present moment with result that affects the present situation. Now in these sentences, the action has already happened in the past, but the result of the action affects the present time. For example, I have taught him. Now the action of teaching has already happened in the past, but the result of it affects the present moment. Another example, he has played the game. Now these are examples of present perfect tense. Now in these type of sentences, we use has or have, and we use the third form of the verb. Now we also call the third form of the verb past participles. Now before the verb we use has or have. Now when the subject is singular, we use has with it, and when the subject is plural, we use have. For example, Ram has eaten his food. Here the subject Ram is singular, that is why we have used has. And we have used the third form of the verb eat. Third form is eaten. Eat, ate, eaten. So the third form of the verb eat is eaten. In the second sentence, she has cooked the meal. She again is a singular subject, that is why we have used has, and we have used the third form of the verb cook, which is cooked. Now in this example, the brothers have eaten their food. The brothers, the subject is plural, that is why we have used have. They have cooked the meal. Again the subject is plural here, that is why we have used have. Now the exception in the case of I and you is that these pronouns will always take have. They will not use has, whether they are singular or they are plural. We will always use have in case of I and you. For example, I have eaten my food. Now I is singular, but we are still using have with it. You have cooked the meal. Again, you is singular, but we have used have. Now the fourth type of present tense is the present perfect continuous tense. Now as the name suggests, it will have the qualities of both the perfect tense as well as the continuous tense. It indicates an action that started in the past and is continuing in the present time. Now in present perfect continuous tense, the action has already started in the past, but it is happening in the present time also. For example, the boy has been sleeping for an hour. Now the action of sleeping has already started. It had been started before an hour and it is still continuing. Let's look at another example. They have been living here since 1992. Now the action of living had started back in 1992. Let's look at the picture also. I have been teaching for 20 years. That means the action of teaching had started before 20 years and it is still continuing at present. Now I'll also tell you something very interesting about the use of for and since. Now when do we use for and when do we use since? Now when we talk about the time period or the duration of the time of an action when it had started, then we use for. For example, in the first sentence we said that it has been an hour. So this is the time period before the boy has slept. So that is why we used for. Now in the second sentence, we talked about the starting point when the action had started. For example, we said 1992. They had started living there. They have been living here since 1992. So when the starting point is being talked about, we use since. Now in the first sentence, had it been 9 o'clock instead of an hour, that means we would have talked about the starting point of the action, then we have used since instead of for. I hope you have understood the use of for and since. Okay, now let's talk about the rules in the present perfect tense. Now we use has and have like we did in the present perfect tense. Plus we will add ing to the verb like we did in continuous tense. Also we will add been. So we will use has been or have been, plus we will add ing to the verb. Now when the subject is singular, we will write has been, while in the plural we will write have been. For example, in the sentence, it has been raining since morning. Here the subject is singular, that is why we have used has been and we have added ing to the verb rain. Now in the second sentence, she has been studying for 2 hours. The subject she is singular, so we have used has been. Now here we have been waiting for 3 years. We is plural subject, that is why have been has been used. In the second sentence, boys have been playing since afternoon. Boys is a plural subject, so we have used have been. Now like I told you before also, there will always be exceptions in the case of I and you. So here also, whether I and you subjects, these two, whether they are singular or plural, we will always use have been with these. Now I have been reading this book since 4 o'clock and you have been playing for an hour. Okay, now we'll do the practice exercise to see if we have actually understood the tenses. Now look at the question. Choose the correct verb from the given options. Now from the options given in the bracket, we have to select the correct option and fill the blanks. Now look at the first sentence. The earth dash round the sun. Now this is a general truth. The earth has always moved round the sun. It does so in the present and it will continue to do so in the future as well. So we know that it is simple present tense. So we'll cross out the option moving, because when we add ing to the verb move, it becomes a present continuous tense. So that means we will not be using moving. Now out of these two options, move and moves, we'll see which will come here. For that we look at the subject. The subject is the earth, which is singular subject. That is why we will use the verb, the singular verb. And the singular verb is moves. The earth moves round the sun. Now look at the second sentence. I am dash the fruit. Now we have am in this sentence, and like we did the tenses, and we know that whenever we use the helping verb is, are or am, it is continuous tense. So that is why we use the option eating here, because in present continuous tense we add ing to the verb. So we will write I am eating the fruit. Now look at the third sentence. My sons dash the film. We have the option has washed or have washed. Now in the present perfect tense, we look at the subject my sons, which is plural. That is why we use have and not has. So my sons have watched the film. Now in the fourth sentence, she dash French for 5 years. Now in this sentence, the action has started sometime back and it is continuing in the present also. So that means it is present perfect continuous tense. And the subject here is singular, which is she. So that is why we will use has been studying. The option has been studying will come here. Now let's look at the answers. So the first sentence, the earth moves round the sun. I am eating the fruit. My sons have watched the film. She has been studying French for 5 years. I hope you have understood the 4 types of perfect present tenses. And if you have any suggestion or question related to the topic, do leave it in the comment section below and I will definitely get back to you in my next video. Thank you.